back. Welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, more social cohesion training for hinterland communities. Draft strategic plan for renewable sustainable power supply 2025 being prepared. Mabaruma to get its own power company. Lombard Street squatters happy to move to new homes, and GCAA gives an update on the ASL aircraft accident. Stay tuned for these and more. Now for the details. Several hinterland communities will get social cohesion training in 2018. Gabriela Patram has this report.
This was disclosed by Minister of Social Cohesion, Dr. George Norton, who said that the ministry is budgeting for these events next year. He highlighted that due to lack of funding, the Ministry of Social Cohesion was unable to carry out its mandate in those far-flung communities that require travel by plane or boat.
There's a YY village in the New River Triangle known as Cashew Island. They've come here to us as social cohesion with lots of complaints, them being refused treatment by their neighbors, the Surinamis and so on. We would like to visit. We would also like to visit not only a social cohesion, but if we can get the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Public Health, or, pertinent ministries to go there with us. There again, we will have to budget for trips like those, which is quite a lot, and we are looking forward to that.
Dr. Norton noted that to promote equity, the ministry must have knowledge of what is taking place on the ground.
Only when we can attend, we can actually visit these places, when we can go to villages like Arau in the Renewable River, in Botero in Region 1, to go to Kurtuku in Region 7, and places like in Bamadai, places like the Middle Mazruni. Only then we would be in a position to make informed decisions as our best approach to those little villages.
However, the minister added that the ministry has been working along with the Social Cohesion Action Plan. It was through the action plan sensitization and training was done in several communities in regions 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Gabriela Patram for InfoHub.
Broad and Lombard Street squatters today thanked the government for fulfilling a promise to provide better living conditions. InfoHub spoke with some of them. The Ministry of Communities' decision to relocate the Broad and Lombard Street squatters to Barnwell, East Bank Demerara was due to a legal action taken by the landowner and a High Court decision which led to a 6-week eviction notice. This initiative is a collaborative effort between the Ministry and Food for the Poor to construct 72 single houses to accommodate the residents. The government will be investing $42 million on the relocation program, which will be transferred to Food for the Poor for the construction of the houses and $30 million for the infrastructure development of the area. InfoHub spoke to some of the residents who were squatting in the area for more than 10 years.
When PVV went in for when you got housing, the person used to tell you gotta come with 100,000 one time. You can't come short, you can't come this, you can't come that. But it's thank God that APN you win the election and we could get a better deal.
I applied 1,000 since in 2002 and they never called me. And even if they call me, I couldn't afford them price for the land, like 500,000 and them kind of thing, right? So I am very much happy that, the new administration, they win and they give me free house, free land. So I'm thankful.
When the government changed, I went to them. I see where I'm living. I invite them there. They come, they see where I'm living, they shed tears and say, well, they would do something for us. We're thankful for the government that doing these things for us, and they did not promise we, because the previous government promised we to come one time and promised people they're going to do something and they did not. Now this government change is not 3 years yet. We're very thankful for this government that what they did for we, and They see a lot more things to be done.
Minister within the Ministry of Communities, Valerie Adams Yearwood, highlighted that though the government and Food for the Poor will be financing the project, a plan is expected to be created for the residents to pay for some of the basic amenities. Ivor Allen has been awarded 2 contracts for the infrastructural development works at Barnwell East Bank Demerara, which is scheduled to be completed within 8 weeks. Tiffany Rogers now tells us that the GCAA has banned all interior shuttle operations following a preliminary analysis of 3 recent aircraft accidents.
The temporary suspension by the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority takes effect today.
The authority had demanded that documented procedures and policies for shuttle operations be submitted to the authority. As a result of the accidents and the authority's preliminary analysis, the authority has now taken the decision to suspend all operations until the documented procedures and policies for shuttle operations are submitted, reviewed, and approved by the inspectors of this authority.
Preliminary analysis of 3 plane crashes over the last 2 months found that each craft was conducting shuttles when they crashed. 2 of those accidents were fatal. The GCAA will increase ramp inspections as an immediate response, Director General Egbert Fields said.
So you'll find that out at Ogle, we have an office which will be populated every day with our inspectors out there. This will put a drain on our small resource, human resource in here, but we consider it a necessary move in order to not only have more surveillance out there, but to show the traveling public that their concerns are being looked after.
Another in several trips. Shuttle operations have grown rapidly over the years, and a temporary suspension is aimed at regulating this type of operation, Field noted.
The state-owned Power Producers and Distributors, Inc. is currently preparing a draft strategic plan for producing electricity to the grid by 2025 from renewable and green sources of energy. Gabriela Patram tells us more.
Chairman of the Board of Directors, Mark Bender, noted that the first draft plan will be completed shortly for approval, after which it would be submitted to Minister of Public Infrastructure, David Patterson. It was highlighted that the new plants at Kingston 2 and Wiedenhoop can be converted to use natural gas, which will translate to savings.
Going forward, we intend to ensure that we remain relevant as the government moves towards this plan to have the electricity for the grid supplied fully from renewable and clean sources of energy.
Bender said that a number of options are being considered in keeping with the upcoming oil and gas production.
The 2 most significant ones at this time are hydropower and associated natural gas once the field, the oil and gas production starts, okay? Of course, there are other renewable sources like solar and wind.
PPDI became fully operational this year, and it is expected to have an expanded role in the future as government moves forward with its plan to provide electricity from clean and renewable sources of energy. It was noted that PPDI electricity coverage and reliable supply of electricity are key indicators that the company is an important player in the electricity sector. Gabriela Patram for InfoHub.
Delon Sanko now joins us to report that Mabaruma residents will soon have their own power company and a meter system to regularize electricity consumption.
This was disclosed by Chief Executive Officer of the Hinterland Electrification Company, Inc., Horace Williams. Williams said that the residents of Mabaruma are currently paying a fixed fee for electricity. He noted that the installation of meters will see residents paying for electricity based on consumption.
Recently, we have registered a company called the Mabaruma Power and Light Company, Inc. That company will be taking over the operations of the electricity system in Mabaruma. And in doing so, we want to move towards consumers paying for based on consumption, another fixed fee. Paying a fixed fee does not offer incentive for conservation of energy, etc. So when we introduce metering systems, we expect that consumers will now use electricity more efficiently and conserve where possible.
The company will be controlled by the government and managed by a board of directors. Williams pointed out that the appointment of board members will be decided by the government. However, he noted that a member from the Guyana Power and Light Company will be on the board to give guidance.
GPL has been represented under these small utility boards in the past, so we expect a similar arrangement for Mabaruma. Of course, the RDCs are represented on these boards as well, and we expect that the same will happen in Mabaruma.
Mabaruma is currently receiving 9 hours electricity per day. Williams noted that with the establishment of the power company, they will be working on providing 24 hours electricity for the residents. Dalon Sanko for InfoHub.
Food handlers urged to become familiar with safe food handling practices. Delicia Haynes has the details.
The Government Analyst Food and Drug Department hosted a one-day seminar for representatives of the food service establishments in Guyana. One of the main aims of the workshop was to sensitize the participants about the importance of serving healthy foods to consumers. Deputy Chief Medical Officer Dr. Karen Boyle charged the participants to adapt to regulatory requirements for the serving of meals.
We are also moving to the point where we're going to want to have food industry, restaurants to be able to demonstrate what are the caloric value of the menus they have. People must again be able to tell when they look on the menu the content, how much sugar, how much calories am I going to be taking in by this particular menu as against maybe another one. And so again, people will be able to make informed choices in health.
Boyle further explained that society has become dependent on fast foods which do not contain the required nutrients and calories to be considered a balanced diet.
Please note, I'm not saying that we should not consume these foods and these drinks at all. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying though is that as consumers we need to be savvy, we need to know what we're using and use them with moderation.
Food handlers and other operatives in the food industry were also informed of the need for a safe and healthy food environment and the need to observe safe food handling practices.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority is executing major infrastructure works at Perseverance East Bank Demerara to accommodate additional housing units under its Housing Solution Program. Sonika Thorne has more.
The works are being executed in phases. Phase 1 and 3 comprise of the clearing of lands to accommodate 50 additional housing units and the construction of roads and drainage. These works are being executed at a cost of approximately $170 million and $150 million respectively. Director of Projects Omar Narain explains the status of the works on Phase 1 of the project.
What is going on here today is the contract is on a stiff schedule to deliver the first 50 lots where we are planning to commence the construction of the first 50 houses. With respect to the Perseverance Phase 3 infrastructure development, we are hoping to complete this project by October month end so that we can commence a total of 178 elevated units. As Mr. Dazel would have explained just now, as you can see, the roads here are of pressure run surface and the front section of the road is at the asphalt level, and I think we are scheduled to complete this project by October month end. Yes. The entire road within this network. 4 kilometers.
The Phase 3 infrastructural development is expected to be completed by October to facilitate the construction of 178 additional elevated units. An additional 23-bedroom house are under construction on the lands that were singled out for the turnkey homes. These houses will cost $9 million, $8.4 million for the house, and $600,000 for the land.
These buildings are about 850 square feet. They consist of 3 bedrooms. They have a toilet and bath, and as you can see, they're elevated way beyond the existing road levels. So you don't have any threats of flood or anything of such. Right? We started this about 5 weeks ago, and we're hoping to wrap this up in the next 4 weeks' time.
Other projects on the east bank of Demerara include the electrification program at Farm, Eccles, Covent Garden, Petershall and Barnwell. Poles are on the ground and transformers and cables have been shipped and are en route to Guyana. The planting of poles will commence shortly as tenders are out for the construction of the electrical network.
Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.